Hello everyone. I know you will be having various questions regarding how to prepare for CA finals. So in this video, I will be covering from the start of your CA final till the date of the exam regarding what to do and what not to do. So first question is various people will be having that which classes do I choose? Whether I should go for offline or I should go for online. Since this is the question, you should ask from your seniors how is the experience. You should ask from your mentors that which classes should I opt. Most of the people you have been in offline classes for your CA inter, but it is not necessary that since you were offline classes were good in inter, it will be also good in final, or they will also having that concept understanding clarification as it used to be in inter. So don't just go, since I was in offline classes for CA inter, I will go for CA final, or I was in online, I will go for CA final online. Do consult with your seniors, with your mentors, and then take the decision wisely, because at the when you are doing revisions, how well you have done your classes, all does this matters. If you are not clear on your concepts while going through the lectures, then do change, do consult, and then take the decision accordingly. Now the next question is, once I have done with my classes, how many revisions should I be done with before my exams? So the answer to this question is, it's not necessary that that there should be a three revisions, there should be a four revisions. I just want to tell you that whatever revisions you are doing, make sure that you have that concept clarification. If that question comes to the exam even in some different way, you will be able to answer that question. So the concept understanding is the first thing in your first revision. If it takes 8 days, 10 days, there is no problem, but make sure you understand each and every concepts very thoroughly, very properly. Okay, and in the second revision you can try to reduce that 8 to 10 days to some 4 to 5 days accordingly, and then you can prepare. Make sure that you write the test. So many people ask me, Harshika, I have want writing practice. क्या तुमने कभी writing practice किया था? Answer is yes. Before writing in the exam, it is must that you should have that proper writing practice. But writing practice के लिए इतना time किधर है? How can I manage writing practice as well as my revisions? You can write the test. Again, test is also something you should take proper test, because sometimes we wrote the exams before the final exams from test or some other mock test. So but they are not as much as competitive as our exam. So what we wrote in the test, we got confidence, yes, I can score around 60 70, but in exams we were not able to score also 40. So make sure that whatever the exams you are writing, it is as not 100% but 80 to 90% competitive as per the ICI. Or what otherwise you can do, you can take the past papers for ICI, and then you can write, and then you can understand ki how that May, for example, in my November 23 attempt, I used to go through the May 23 attempt ki these are the exams, this is the paper pattern, accordingly I have to prepare. And from that I come to know that this is the position where I'm standing, I'm not able to answer the questions. So I can find out, if I know the problem, I can find out the solution. Okay, I am not able to answer these questions, so I have to thorough that chapter properly. I have to read that chapter again and again, so that I same problem doesn't happen during the exam. And one more thing, from your test writing, you also got the practice of writing the paper in 3 hours, because paper like FR or DT, most probably sometimes DT as well, are so lengthy that it is not possible to complete your exams in 3 hours. So, writing practice, you will come to know that whether I will be proper on speed, or I have to increase my speed accordingly. So, it is better to write the paper before the exam. And next thing will be, yeah. So whether it is necessary to prepare timetable during my preparations, answer is yes. By timetable, you have that roadmap. But I'm not, for example, I'm not able to complete my timetable. I feel so disappointed. You don't have to. It is okay to sometimes not complete your timetable. You can cover this tomorrow or by extending some hours on the same day. But if from the timetable you know that yes, I have to complete that subject in 8 days, might be it take 9 days, 8 days, it sometimes take 10 days, but it's okay to understand that concept. If you are giving that 1 day more, then also it is okay. But with the timetable you have the clarity on your future, that I have to go through this way. 1 to 2 days, it's fine. Next, my the question is, I am not able to study, I am not able to sit for to more than 8 to 10 hours, or how, because my sometimes our lectures are also pending. So what is the solution? Find out the way. You have to find out the way. Either you can go to the library sometime and sometime at home, so that you will not get bored by sitting at same place from morning till end. But make sure that you complete whatever is your timetable. You have to be in revision during these 3 to 4 days, 4 months. You have to forget everything and you just have to focus on your studies, I would say. Yes, for some subjects like audit, direct taxation, the portion is so vast, we got confused what to cover, what not to cover. So what I also followed, and my literal advice to you is that you focus on scoring topics first. You try to complete those topics, because in exams like audit, we out of the 60 to 70 marks of our theory, if we wrote 30 to 40 marks also paper, and if I able out of 40 I am able to score 30, and then in MCQ I will be able to score out of 30 15 or 20, so you will be easily able to score 50. So you have to identify those chapters which are scoring, and then you have to revise it again and again. For audit, I didn't done 4 revision, 3 revisions. I just used to revise every day, because for subjects like audit it is impossible to cover during that 1.5 days, because it will in my first revision I used to take one chapter per day. So I realized, if in my exams, if today it is taking 1 day, how will I able to complete in 1 hour? So we have to understand that by doing revisions again and again, I will be able to cover it in 1.5 days. So during my 1.5 days, I have covered other chapters other than essays first, because I know out of 100 marks paper, if that is 40 to 50 marks is other chapters, I will be easily able to score 30. And for MCQs, in morning, when there is a 1 hour remaining for my exams, I completed essays only for the purpose of MCQ. So in the exam, I wrote 40 to 50 marks, which I will be covering in my next video for that audit exam analysis. So I wrote 40 to 50 marks. I got 20 25 30 marks in my writing, and I got 30 to 20 to 25 marks in MCQ. So I just able to score 54 marks. I was very clear from the beginning how I have to cover that audit, because if I what I have followed that strategy. I was revising some chapters again and again. Next strategy would be to complete the entire audit in one revision, because I know I was not ready. I will not be able to remember this concept if I am going from start to end in one go. So that's my strategy, to come take some chapters and then revising, so that at the day of the exams I will be easily able to remember those chapters. You can also follow this strategy, but make sure that not 100%, but 60 to 70% of your portion is completed in such a way that you remember during your exams. So in audit, I would suggest do remember 4 to 5 points. So for example, if there is a question, I must be able to remember 4 points. That is sufficient, 4 to 5 points. And the next question is, how do you revise DT? DT is again very vast. So in my first revision, I do practice entire sums. It took me around 10 to 12 days, but I know I need that practice. And in my second revisions, I mark some of the sums which I used to revise. Next, if I'm not understanding the concepts from the book which I am referring, with the professor which I am referring, what to do during my revisions? First, you can definitely go for the revision lectures which are uploaded on YouTube for each and every faculty. If then also you are not able to remember that concepts, I would suggest to first read your book by yourself, whether it is possible. If it is not possible, might be you have not chosen correct professor, you can go for some other professor, but it is very difficult to change the professor during your revisions. So make sure from beginning only you take proper professor books for, and make sure that there is a concept understanding whenever you are watching lectures. Make sure that you have conceptual understanding, even though you are not able to complete the sum from start to beginning, but if I ask you certain point, you will be able to answer that question. Next question. I am not getting confidence. I'm not able to remember the things even after revising entire subject. So what to do? So I would basically suggest that what I used to do, once I completed one of the chapter, I also used to go back to that chapter after 1 day, 2 day, and I used to cover the page from with my hand, and I used to ask myself, if this question come, what I will write? Do I remember certain points? If answer is yes, then I will be able to complete remember. But if I am not able to remember, then I used to revise it again. So my mind have got that habit that after 1 to 2 days also, if someone asks me, I will be able to answer. So this is my strategy. You have read whatever you have read today, ask yourself after 1 day, after 2 day, or some of the questions, not entire. You will come to know, yes, whether I remember or not. If you are not able to remember, revise it again and again. Next question. Whether we have to practice MCQ as well for subjects like DT, for subjects like audit. I would say you should have some of the practice, but not that much ki you are solving each and every MCQ, because your time is precious. In exam, you will definitely not get entire same MCQs as you get to as you solved in the exam. In exam, most of the MCQs will be based on the concepts, might be some of the MCQs are based from your books. So revise it. Take it some of the MCQs after once you have done with that chapter, and then solve, and then you will be able to know whether I am able to solve these questions or not. One more thing, before you going for your exam, make sure that you have the timetable prepared for your 1.5 days revision. How I have to cover these topics in your 1.5 days. So if that have a concept unclear understanding that yes, I have to complete that topic in 1 hour, I have to complete that topic in 1.5 hours, so never ever you will be able to not able to complete your revision, not able to come reading in 1.5 days before your exam. So this is very important. And one more thing, that what if I'm not able to cover 3 revisions? You have covered 1 revision, you have covered 2 revision, and for the third revision, what strategy I have followed, and I would suggest you to make sure that whatever topics, whatever subjects you are not proper, you don't have that confidence in yourself that I will be able to write in the exams, take these first. For example, for me, FR is the subject I know for which this is my first exam. I have sufficient days, 4 to 5 days to revise. So I left FR for my third revision. Directly I went to SFM and then audit. I know these audit and then DT. IDT also I have not realized revised for my third revision because I know I have very few days left. I have to anyhow cover the topic which I am not sure about. How will I going to approach in the exam? Make sure you highlight important concepts, important topics, important sums so that which you can refer during your 1.5 days. For FR and SFM as well as DT, writing practice is must. For audit, multiple revisions is must. Same strategy you cannot adopt for each and every subject. And make sure that in first you cover one group and properly, and then you jump to another group. Just by I have to cover everything, you are just going through the pages. It's not useful. Make sure that you understand the concepts properly, and bus be confident, have proper understanding of the concepts, and you will be clear your exams. Thank you. Do like, subscribe my channel for more such videos. Thank you.